Hey there, YouTube fans. Welcome back to Nutmeg Alley Homestead. And in today's video, we're going for a walk in the woods and we are going to compare moss. My goodness. This spring, it's February in South Carolina and it's been unseasonably warm here. Well, it's warm most years, but this year's been particularly warm. One thing I have found is that there's a lot of moss growing on downed tree stumps. Well, there's an old stump over here that's been here for years, and it is just full of dark, rich green moss. I mean full. You'll see what I mean. Look at this. This is not the only downed tree stump like this. This old one that has just fallen over. Look at this. Look at how thick this moss is on this stump. Looky. Get a close-up of that. That is like thick and green and like 3 shades of green, and it is just covered with it. And this is not the only one. Look down here how thick that is. Got moss growing around the base, the stumps, and it is only like February 20th, 2026, something like that. Now here on the back side, there's no moss hardly. And across the way, there's another one right up here. There's several right in this area. This area took a big hit one year with the wind. Pushed over quite a few of these old trees. There's another one over there in the distance. I don't know if you can see right there. There's actually 2 of them over there. I'll walk over there. And over here on this side of the trail, there's another one right there. So we'll come and see this one over here. See if we can get over there without too much debris. Lots of pine leaf needles, longleaf pine needles. And we have, look, more moss growing here. Look at this, it's just covered with moss. This is the 3rd year we've lived here. And this is the first time that I've ever seen this moss grow so thick in the spring. It's gorgeous. Look at how lush and green that is. Wow. Look how thick it is in there. And there's another one over here. Not too much. Well, there's some growing on the backside here. These are going to be just lush moss mounds. Moss is interesting because it gives off oxygen. So it's a good generator of oxygen, especially when there's no soil and stuff. So if you have moss growing on bricks or the side of a building or whatnot, it's an oxygenator, and it doesn't need it's an oxygen producer. There's another one. This doesn't have as much as the other 2, but it's pretty thick. The other 2 are thicker. So that is producing lots of good, fresh, thick oxygen. It's nice to walk and notice the differences from year to year in the same area. It's alive and thriving. Moss over here. Moss is over here at the base of the trees. It's glorious. It's lush. I don't like moss. It's pretty. There's more over here. Looks like 2 or 3 different kinds. The colors are so vivid. It's amazing and healthy. Well, be just in time for St. Patrick's Day. There's 2 over here, 1 there and 1 there. So we got about... Ash Wednesday was this week, so St. Patrick's Day is March 17th, so we gotta have lots of good Irish moss growing here. Lots of it. I mean, thick. I guess that's a sign of a good ecosystem. I guess so. Alright. Well, my study of spring moss on down trees will continue. And let's see what more I can find out about moss. Till next time, bye-bye.